war with Ukraine hours after President Trump spoke with President Putin. Now, today, an even larger attack after President Trump criticized Putin.
The Trump administration resumed shipping munitions to Ukraine this week following a temporary pause of air defense weapons.
And I will say the Ukrainians were brave, but we gave them the best equipment ever made.
President Trump also offering his harshest assessment yet of Russian President Vladimir Putin, accusing him of throwing around BS.
It's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The president says there's trade news coming.
President Trump posting on social media, we will be releasing a minimum of 7 countries having to do with trade tomorrow morning, meaning this morning, with an additional number of countries being released in the afternoon. The president also announced the U.S. will impose a 50% tariff on imported copper, a critical component in making electrical components from the wiring. He also claimed the new tariff deadline in August is a firm date.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Fox confirms the Justice Department has former CIA Chief John Brennan and FBI Chief James Comey under criminal investigation over their handling of the 2016 Russia-Trump election interference investigation. The criminal referral comes from current CIA Director John Ratcliffe. A man and 2 children are killed in the flash flooding in New Mexico. More deaths are confirmed in Texas in the flooding that hit last Friday.
That death toll right now at 111 people. That includes at least 30 children here in Kerr County. Unfortunately, that number expected to rise dramatically because 170 people still missing. Trees snapped in half. These massive piles of debris stretching along the river for what seems like miles and miles.
Fox's Brooke Taylor in Kerr County, Texas. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
No more taking your shoes off at airport security.
After nearly 20 years, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says TSA is ending its shoe removal policy.
We have the multi-layers of screening in place that we've built in over the recent several years that give us the ability to allow our travelers to keep their shoes on.
Speaking at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport in D.C.
It's important that we find ways to keep people safe, but also streamline and make the process much more enjoyable for every single person.
Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Former President Biden's White House physician is scheduled to sit for an interview today.
Dr. Kevin O'Connor is expected before the House Oversight Committee, despite attempts from his lawyers to reschedule the deposition to the end of July or early August due to patient privilege concerns. The committee subpoenaed O'Connor as part of the GOP's investigation into former President Biden's alleged mental decline and cover-up, as well as his use of the auto pen during his term. Chairman James Comer calls the patient privilege argument unprecedented, and the committee says the privilege will be honored on a question-by-question basis. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
4 former top New York City police officials are suing Mayor Eric Adams.
These 4 new lawsuits come from 4 former police chiefs who allege that several of Mayor Adams' close allies in the NYPD encouraged bribes in return for promotions and allege they faced retaliation after they spoke up. They also allege that Mayor Adams knew what was going on and approved it. In a statement, a spokesperson for Adams says, quote, "The Adams administration holds all city employees, including leadership at the NYPD, to the highest standards, and our work at the department speaks for itself. We will review the lawsuits."
Fox 5 New York's Morgan Mackay. Ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street, Dow futures are up 126, S&P futures up 13, NASDAQ futures are up as well 46 points. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois leaders warning state residents about the negative impacts of President's One Big Beautiful bill. They say it includes cuts and alterations to SNAP. They believe cuts to SNAP threatens the food benefits for about 360,000 Illinoisans, jeopardizes jobs in grocery stores, and harms local economies. Second teen dead. It follows a shooting last month in Champaign. Police say officers found two 16-year-olds in front of a yard in the 1500 block of Holly Hill Drive with life-threatening gunshot wounds June 29. Arian Turner died later in the day. The second victim passed away Monday. The shooting remains under investigation. Urbana police reporting an increase in sexual assaults following first-time meetups through dating apps. The police department notified the community of this troubling find through a post on Facebook, and they said it's important for residents to make a safety plan to protect themselves. Meet in a public space and tell someone where you're going. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Hey, good morning. It's Wednesday. This is July 9.
That's right.
And there's something in my head about July 9, so yay, something in my head.
Yeah?
30. You know what it is?
What is it? Your anniversary?
What?
No.
No, we had that. It was 35 years ago today.
Touchdown on the moon.
No, 35.
Touchdown on the moon.
Nope. 1990, I think I did a first morning show, my first morning radio show.
Okay.
I think it was, and I came on the air. Jim Turpin was my boss, and I came on at 5 in the morning or 5:30. And I remember sitting there, and I sat there for about 2-3 weeks, going, "It's too early. This is just too early."
Meanwhile,
and then I went in and said, "Could we start at 6?" He said the show starts at 5:30.
or maybe record the first hour of the previous afternoon or something.
So one morning I came in and I said, I turned on the microphone at 5:30 in the morning. It says, "I don't know why I'm here. Nobody's up."
You don't know that. Our producer, our farmer friends are typically up.
Okay, well,
that's what I
story
said.
Develops here, Greg.
That's what I said. I said, I tell you what, if you're awake, we'll start a club.
There you go.
We call it the Five Alive Club.
The Five Alive Club.
And if you'll call me, I'll make a certificate, we'll number them, and then we'll have a secret handshake and a club picture.
Mm-hmm.
We had over 2,000 calls.
Yes.
And we even did a thing where we said, okay, 5 Alivers, if you'll call, we'll take you to New York City. And we figured out how to go to New York City for the day.
Nice.
We took an airline called Ozark.
Okay.
I remember them.
Ozark Airlines out of Champaign, out of Savoy, Willard Airport. We flew to Dayton. Dayton to New York City, had a bus on the hottest day in Manhattan history, 102. And we went around that. One woman went, it was only $199 there and back in the whole day.
Okay.
And we went, and a woman went to get her hair done at Vidal Sassoon.
Nice.
So it was one of those, and that was only for 5 Alivers. So I said, if you'll call, and the phone started ringing at 4:30 in the morning trying to get on board.
Oh my goodness.
And they all had to pay $199.
That's awesome.
So it shocked me. And the great Lou Henson, the late great Lou Henson, our Illinois basketball coach, called in one morning, and I said, "Coach, you want to be part of the Five Alive Club?" And there's this long pause. He goes, "What does that entail?" And I said that you're semi-alerted this hour of the morning, and the next election you'll do your best to vote. I would like to join.
I would like to join.
Anyway, a new July 9
brilliant idea.
Meant something, and it's, that's the years going by on the calendar for me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, good morning, Greg Soye, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you that have you got your emergency plan ready? Make sure you're in control of your medical care, even if a medical crisis should arise. You can learn more about what your primary care provider can do for you at carl.org.
All right, sir, it is Wednesday, July 9, 2025. What say you?
Well, another great example yesterday of how these little atmospheric engines, we call them thunderstorms of the weather business, can behave. A pretty good knot and cluster that took its sweet time out of Woodford and McLean County, widespread in those county areas at least, of 1 to 2, in some spots 3 to almost 5 inches of rain, and kind of a little trickle-down effect in parts of Champaign County. And by the time you hit Willard and Savoy, nothing to speak of there. They refired here over the past couple of hours, and they're doing the thing over West Central Indiana and south of the I-70 I-70 corridor down towards about the Effingham area. And that's about the way it goes. These broad brush forecast here in the coming days with a roll of nice chance for some rain, lots of dry hours, and typical July warmth and humidity. Out the door this morning, 69 at Willett and Savoy, 68 at Rantoul, 72 at Danville. Pretty good storm on the west side of Indianapolis right now. 69 at Bloomington Normal, up to 86 today, right where we need to be for a July 9 and a remote chance for an isolated shower thunderstorm this afternoon. Lesser odds this afternoon and this evening. Overnight lows down to 66. And again, some patchy fog early tomorrow, partly sunny. And again, a stray late morning or afternoon shower thunderstorm, iffy at best at 87. A little bit better odds on some rainfall late morning and afternoon on Friday. Increasing clouds, warm, humid, close to 90 there. Middle 80s, scattered showers and thunderstorms. The likelihood here for Saturday. We dry things out Sunday at 85 and back into chasing scattered showers and thunderstorms good part of next week with Monday through Wednesday highs. Again, seasonal, no extreme heat, no extreme dry time. We'll be into the 80s early next week. For Steve A.J. Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, up and running on this 9th of July, ESPN 93.5. That means it's 22 days plus 29 days. 22, 39, 40, 51 days till Illinois plays football.
Oh, wow.
51 days. And
Western Illinois, 7:30.
And less than 30 days till all the team is back and ready to go. And this is when coaches get a chance to go on what's called a vacation. Very rare for football coaches. Those guys work. If they're not in season, they're recruiting or doing. I've seen that Cardinal in the middle of the road in Philo for the last 2 days. It's the same Cardinal.
He is hopping around there.
Anyway, this is vacation time for coaches. This is the time when coaches get a chance to actually take their vacation. Other than that, they don't. They just work.
And the Illini Nation is looking at basketball tickets this week. I guess if you want to get your season basketball tickets and things like that. I mean, there's a buzz.
We did all that seating thing, didn't we?
And I feel maybe this is the extra stuff then.
I know that people have been, and I've heard a lot about this. They were unhappy with the extra money they had to pay just to buy the ticket.
Right.
In some cases, if you're in the lower bowl, it's tens of thousands just to have the right to buy the ticket. It's a lot of, but it's one of those supply and demand things. If you're not very good, you're going to have to come back down on that deal. But if you stay what Brad Underwood has done, the winningest coach in the last 6 years in the Big Ten, you're going to sell tickets.
Right.
And Brett Bielema win a Citrus Bowl and have kind of a moment with the opposing coach. You beat an SEC team, you're going to sell tickets.
Right.
Now, that's why I go into the season nervous, because the ups and downs of Illinois football history, that we got to play well, or it's kind of like the Cardinals this year in St. Louis. Fans didn't think there was much going on. Then they win, then they lose, and people don't come. And it's just one of those really odd moments in Cardinals baseball history. But the Illini, there's a lot of hope. And it's not just, it's across the board. We're pretty good. Shauna Green's done stuff. Mike Small is legendary.
Excellent.
Anyway, it's
So I just pulled up on fightingillini.com the Illinois men's basketball season ticket on sale. 9 a.m. is Loyalty Circle Silver, Loyalty Circle Gold, and Hall of Fame. And then at noon will be Olympian, Block I, and Loyalty Circle Bronze. And then at 3 o'clock today will be Champion and Oski levels. So I don't know exactly what that means, but you can deep dive and find out.
I have no idea what you just said.
Different sections, I think.
That's just a shiny table and coming up with names one day. You came up with what you're going to call them. That's fine. That's what you do. Well, listen.
And then at 9 o'clock tomorrow is the new Illini Captains and All-American, and then the men's basketball wait list at noon tomorrow. And then on July 11th at 9 a.m. is general public. So
those are the folks that just want the $20 ticket.
Right.
Here we go with sports headlines.
All right. Well, Illini basketball season tickets, if you're interested, fightingillini.com. Now is the week to be talking about it with your friends. We had a Cardinal win yesterday. Cardinal in the street here in the center of the universe in Philo. And also chirping about winning 4-2 over Washington. Here's details.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
Last night, after a lengthy rain delay, the Cardinals used the long ball to beat the Nationals 4-2.
So top of the order, Brendan Donovan. He'll try to move the runner at least. And the first pitch to him is hit high and deep to right field. Back to the wall, over the wall. It is tied at 2. Home run number 8 for Brendan Donovan. He wasted no time jumping on that high pitch. Victor Scott scores, and Donovan right behind him. 2-2 our score.
With 2 outs, the 1-strike pitch. Nootbaar hits a high fly ball to right field. That's way back. And at the wall, it's gone. A home run for Lars Nootbaar. That one just got over the padding. Sonny Gray picked up the victory, a save for Ryan Helsley. It's Andre Palante pitching tonight, and we'll be on the air at 5:50 from Busch Stadium. I'm John Rooney.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Are Minnesota Twins that good?
No.
8-1 over the Cubs.
No, they're not that good. They're
6-run 8th inning.
A losing record, so I don't know what happened.
Well, let's see what happens with 6:40 start over on US 105.9 today as that series continues. Toronto over the White Sox 6-1 yesterday, a shortened 7-inning game with the inclement weather coming in.
Pesky Milwaukee, man. They just, every year, just like they don't have anything. Then they win. I mean, they're right behind the Cubs now, so pretty close.
Well, I was just looking because I was at fightingillini.com looking at the basketball tickets and the different options that you have starting today at 9 a.m. Illinois Athletics is excited to announce that they'll partner with Busey to host a movie night at Memorial Stadium Saturday, August 9th that's family friendly, and they're asking you to do an online vote. Who would you vote for, Stevie? You have 4 options. Remember the Titans, Moana 2, Wicked, or the Minecraft movie? Which one, Steve, you got to pick?
Usually, at that point in life, you're not going for yourself.
Right.
You're going for the kids.
Okay.
So it's Moana. I'd say Moana.
Moana 2?
Yeah, Minecraft, then you get them into video games. So I would say Moana 2.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. And again, I'd say, for me, remember the Titans.
Yes.
But for kids and the ones you're really going for, because you're not going for you, are you? You're just going to go to make the kids happy because they're going to love that.
That's right. You're watching the movie on the Jumbotron there. Free parking in Lot 31. The movie begins approximately at 7 o'clock. Again, this is on August 9th, but you can vote now at fightingillini.com.
Good idea. Fun. Get out there and get a little popcorn, a little blanket and all that.
Cubs fan Father Joe texting in and saying in Lincoln, they're even hearing about the fireworks and the big Philo Sesquicentennial finale on July 20th that Brother Johnny is.
Yeah, it's he's JBK Farms. Johnny and Bobby's farms are paying for the fireworks.
Awesome.
Yeah, they've gone way out. You're going to want to come and see that. Weather brought to you this morning by Urbana Park District.
They remind you that Neighborhood Nights is every Wednesday, 6:30 to 8. Free popcorn and lemonade. Bring your lawn chair to Crestview Park and enjoy the Bossy Novas tonight.
We have a Stever. Stand by.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity, and another great example of what happens in these thunderstorm outbreaks from time to time during the summertime season. A wide range and scope of intensities, coverages, and amounts upwards of 4 and 5 inches, for example, in some parts of McLean County, and barely anything to speak of in some sections of Champaign and Vermilion counties. And the beat goes on. A little patchy fog this morning, early on, partly sunny. Again, we brew up an isolated shower thunderstorm at some point, probably this afternoon, up to 86 light wind. Stray shower thunderstorm this evening, partly cloudy overnight, patchy fog after midnight too, low down to 66. And again, becoming partly sunny after some patchy fog tomorrow morning. Isolated shower thunderstorm in the afternoon, highs up around 87. Better odds for a couple of showers and thunderstorms Friday and more so Saturday. High temperatures into the upper 80s to near 90 on Friday, middle 80s on Saturday. Drier air at 85 on Sunday. Back into scattered showers and thunderstorms next week with highs into the 80s. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's merger news this morning. Merck is buying London-based Verona Pharmaceutical for about $10 billion. Verona makes a treatment for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The deal's expected to close by the end of the year. Stock investors appear to be shrugging off President Trump floating 50% tariffs on copper and 200% tariffs on pharmaceuticals. However, Barron's says the U.S. produces only about half the copper it consumes, and higher prices for copper would impact prices for electronic wiring, construction, and energy. The Justice Department is looking into United Health's Medicare billing practices, and the Wall Street Journal says prosecutors have been interviewing former United Health employees. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
I'm Charles Payne. Listen to my Unstoppable Prosperity podcast so I can get you making money right now. 35 years on Wall Street taught me how to successfully invest in the stock market. In my 4-part series, I'm going to teach you too. Some of Fox Business's finest join me to help tell my story, impart crucial lessons from my Unstoppable Prosperity book, and to give you the tools to achieve your own financial dreams.
Listen anytime, everywhere at foxbusinesspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com. Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Dr. Omar Kokar, so why is gut health so important and how do I do it?
About 20 years ago, our understanding was really one-sided traffic between the brain and the gut, meaning that if you feel butterflies in your stomach or all these terms that we use, it means that your brain or your mood might inform your GI activity, meaning that if you're stressed out, you get constipated. It's very common in females. But what we're learning now about gut health is that directionality between the brain and the gut is actually bidirectional. And what I mean by that is that we now have very compelling, good quality data that shows your gut microbiome may be responsible for a number of other things with your health, including mental health, appetite control, physical activity, athletic performance, sleep, and even mood.
Omar Kokar is an MD, board-certified gastroenterologist from OSF Healthcare.
OSFhealthcare.org.
If you would like to clean your garage or clean out stuff, I'm offering the doggy bag this morning.
Oh boy, my son Aiden might be texting in.
What's he want to do?
We're ready for the garage. We're ready for... See, I kind of get caught up in event planning when it's around Tolono Fun Day and the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this week of, oh, wow, I have neglected tidying up the home for
this is the week then.
2 months.
Okay.
And so now he's looking at all these piles saying, Mom, when are you going to get to that? And so a doggy bag, just putting everything in tubs and taking it on out, dumping it in. That sounds a little appealing.
If you would like a doggy bag, it's canvas, 3 cubic yards, and nobody knows what that is except about 2,000 pounds if you're doing tile.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah.
It unfolds and unfolds. Plus, not only will I get you one delivered to your home if you live in Champaign County, but I'll pay for the pickup, so the total value is like $210. There's one person that gets this today. 217-359-2255. Just text in doggy bag. We just got one. Diane Deucey. All right.
There you go. Thanks, Aiden Anderson. On his way to work just now.
All you got to do is text in doggy bag, and you'll be in the hopper to have a chance to win this. And then I'll have Phil Van Swall, the owner of Bulldog Disposal.
Pretty cool
Muhammad.
idea coming out of Muhammad.
Well, I see him everywhere now.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, we were really behind this several years ago, and it's really caught on pretty well. So, and it's a great idea because he has these roll-off dumpsters. You can get a dumpster,
sure,
but they don't really want you to keep it for 5 months. They need them.
That's right.
You get them for like a week or two.
That's why you just unfold,
Yep.
and
you call them when you're done.
That's right.
And you'll be surprised how much those suckers hold.
I just went to bulldoggybag.com, and you can see this video of him picking this up. Pretty cool.
When they collect them, it's just entertainment for the children too, because it's like, will it break? And they never know. So just get out of the way. All right, again, 217-359-2255. Text in doggy bag if you are interested in the Stever this morning, the program where I boost it, give you a chance to meet a really nice client. And Phil's got the big dumpsters if you need them, and I've had those as well.
And I see that if you wanted to purchase a doggy bag, you can do it at Do It Best Hardware.
Yep.
The real estate group is also in Champaign and Kirshner Building Center in Muhammad.
Okay, so they got pickup locations. You see that thing and you say, well, what's so big about this? And you unfold it. You go, man.
And keep unfolding.
Yeah, no, it holds a lot. Believe me, we've stuffed a lot of them.
Right. And if you got a project where you've got brick or siding or windows or toilets or whatever, I mean, it can handle a lot.
All right, we got a lot here coming up. Brother Johnny is back in New Orleans this morning. We'll call him. I don't know about Ed Martin. He's on now every now and then, the Assistant Deputy Attorney General for the United States. We knew him when. He was on last week. I don't know about today, but we'll try him. But all kinds of clips here to play for you that have made the news in the last 24 hours. The whole Epstein stuff is a little unsettling because all of a sudden there's nothing there to see. And everybody that had conspiracies or things that said, well, they had to do really bad things. I want the list of the names who frequented the island and all that.
Yeah.
Now apparently there's nothing. We'll cover all that next.
The Champaign County Fair really puts a spotlight on exhibitors in Kessler Hall. Don't forget to stop by the barns. Livestock exhibitors are so proud of their horses, swine, sheep, and cows. It's fascinating as you visit the barns. July 18th through the 26th. Vendors, entertainment, rides, events. The Champaign County royalty? Get more information at champaigncountyfair.cc.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's BERGtanksinc.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Fox News, I'm CJ Pop. At least 111 people losing their lives in the flash floods in central Texas. At least 173 people are missing.
More heartbreaking is that we're expecting that number just to continue to rise and rise dramatically. Search efforts continue. You have hundreds of people on the ground and in helicopters desperately trying to find the rest of those victims there.
Fox's Brooke Taylor this morning in Kerrville. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meeting President Trump this week. He also spoke to Mornings with Marie on Fox Business about Iran's push for a nuclear weapon.
I think within a year they would have had.
Within a year?
Within a year, probably more than one bomb. So that would have been, and they say openly, death to Israel, death to America.
U.S. strikes last month destroying the nuke program in Iran, and the garbage strike is over in Philadelphia. Residential pickup could resume as early as this morning. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois Senate President Don Harmon disputing claims by the State Board of Elections that he took campaign dollars. The Oak Park Democrat filed an appeal last week criticizing state election authorities for issuing nearly $10 million in penalties against Harmon's campaign fund over claims he accepted millions of dollars more in contributions that's allowed under law. A second teen dead in follows a shooting last month in Champaign. Two 16-year-olds found in the front yard of a home in the 1500 block of Holly Hill Drive on June 29th. Arian Turner died later that day at the hospital. The second victim passed away on Monday. City of Champaign actively searching for answers when it comes to one of their primary railroad crossings. It has a deadly history. The city wants to prevent any other issues. The crossing near North Oak Street and Bradley Avenue. The city's goal to get a more clear understanding of what they can do to minimize complications at that intersection. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jill Miller.
All right, don't forget at Watts Copy Systems, they offer cost-efficient solutions for your busy office. If you'd like a free evaluation, maybe save some money. They've got great service. We've had stuff go down, and people are on it really quickly. So call them today, 217-352-0428. Our weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Busey. For over 155 years, member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. And the beat goes on with these isolated, widely scattered, and at times better coverage outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms, as was evident yesterday. Multi-inch rainfall totals out northwest and west of East Central Illinois, the Twin Cities, out there through McLean County, for example, close to 4 and 5 inches, centered on the Bloomington-Orwell area. Virtually nothing to speak of in our neck of the woods on northward. We may bubble up one of these thunderstorms in spots this afternoon. Some patchy fog early on, partly sunny at 86, down tonight to around 66. Straight evening shower thunderstorm. Get back into bubbling up an isolated thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. Patchy fog early tomorrow, partly sunny at 87. Hot and humid, close to 90 on Friday, and better chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, and up to 60% on Saturday, partly sunny, middle 80s there. Drier air and 85 on Sunday, in the 80s, and each day a couple of showers and thunderstorms for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Sarah Champagne Managing Partner Ben Quattrone.
We're always looking for people. You can go online and apply on our website. We never know what we're going to need. We're always expanding. We're always building more and growing our business. If we don't need a person and they come along and we find out that they're an eagle, they're a star, we'll hire them. We'll put them somewhere and wait for the spot we're going to have them working.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. Well, it is Wednesday, friends. He is the Assistant Deputy Attorney General for the United States of America, also newly created Weaponization Working Group, and he's the pardon attorney. It's one of those we knew him well. That's when he was just a simple man. Now, Ed Martin, you're a big time dude now, man.
I don't know about any of that, but I'm glad to be with you and Johnny as always, and your great listeners, and it's fun to be on. I don't know how many years we've been doing it, but it doesn't feel like a good Wednesday morning if we haven't caught up. So good to be with you guys.
Yeah, Johnny, you just feel like we're bereft of anything. We don't have anything. We got nothing without Ed.
Well, we do have, but it's just we're bated breath when we wait to see if Ed's going to be able to get with us.
Hey, Stevie J, all I'm saying is I don't know how many jobs I have to get, how many things I have to do, how many truth posts from the President of the United States to get Johnny to come out and buy us a steak dinner, for God's sakes. You know, I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's like...
Well, let me just say this.
It's just like the big, beautiful bill. It takes time.
Hey, Ed, Johnny, I got a text. Ed, we're having a big sesquicentennial for Philo, Illinois, the known center of the universe, and it's coming up a week from this weekend. And we got a text in this morning, Johnny, from Lincoln, Illinois. Father Joe said, is Johnny Cash having a fireworks show on the 20th? They're talking about it in Lincoln, Illinois.
Well,
there you go.
We may have gotten carried away. And, but listen, Daddy, it's 150 years for Philo, 250 years for this country. We got lots to celebrate, I think.
Yeah, no question about
it.
So we got Eddie in charge now. We got Eddie running it.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's great to have you on. And some of the things I was planning to talk about, unsure of your appearance today, Ed, you might not feel comfortable talking about in your position. But I will say, number one, Scott Jackson gave the prayer ahead of the cabinet meeting yesterday. He's a former
Turner.
Scott Turner, former Fighting Illini football player, I might add. And he's a great young man, not that young, 50-ish or so. But anyway, gave Johnny a prayer, a 90-second beautiful prayer about Texas and everything else. It was just a great moment. That's a huge difference in this Donald Trump cabinet to go before God and ask for his mercy and ask for his help. And I love that part. But then you got into the whole Pam Bondi tried to answer the Epstein, and there's nothing there, and it was uncomfortable. There are 2 million people out there with hashtags about Epstein. They're not happy. The MAGA group is not happy about the answers we've been given. Is it maybe to protect some of the great surrogates Donald Trump has? Is it just a big old embarrassing deal? I don't know what you say about that. It was really awkward for me to see that.
Well, look, I mean, it's I'm not read in on that, right? So that's not my neck of the woods, the Epstein investigation. In fact, I mostly think it's FBI that's doing it. I don't know where prosecutions are, so I don't have any details. I will say that I think Pam Bondi, you're going to get a snippet in time where you're going to get sort of defined in this modern era. And I just can tell you my experience, everything that I want to do, whether it's going down, into the sort of bowels of J6, looking back at all the way back into the Trump administration on how decisions were made, she's encouraged me and let me do. She's not held back at all. So I don't think it was sort of artful. But I don't really know the details. And I will say this: I have a total confidence that what's available to be gotten to is going to be gotten to. And I don't know right now. Part of me thinks some of the stuff is just gone and was destroyed or whatever. That's my instinct, but I don't know. But what stinks about it is, like I said, on every other front that I can see, Pam Bondi lets us rip. She's never told me no on something I've wanted to do. I know other parts of this administration where, whether it's immigration or pushing back on regulations and things, she's never said no, and she was Attorney General of the state of Florida, so she knows this game. She's not like a law professor that doesn't know how these things work. So, I like her, by the way. She's just a likable lady, and she's, like I said, she has a lot of confidence in the people around her. So we'll see how it comes out. There's a long game here, and I think more of it will come out over time. But, it is what it is.
Well, and Eddie, you do have to be able to build a case, and they just might not have anything hard enough to do it. Here's what I say about that. I kind of want to say this more and more. I've been there on the inside trying to build cases and building cases, and it's really slow. Part of me actually says we should stop trying to build the cases and just expose the
name and shame is what I call it. I got a lot of grief from the press. New York Times wrote an op-ed saying, name and shame, how evil is that? I think the Article 3, meaning the federal court system and even the prosecutorial system and the judges, are designed in such a way they slow walk everything, and they allow evidence to disappear, and they allow things to happen when maybe more than anything we should just disclose more stuff. In other words, one of the reasons I'm not supposed to talk about a prosecution or an investigation that may lead to a prosecution is because I don't want to taint the case, right? So if I said to you, hey, I'm doing an investigation on John Doe, he did this, this, and this, we think he might have committed a crime. Later in a trial, they could come back and say, the prosecutor was already saying this, this, and this, and you would have to answer. Now, my point is, at this point in our history, take the risk, because the public has a need to know what's happened more than they maybe need to see an easy prosecution. So that's the only other thing I'd say about any of these things, even Epstein. Put more out rather than less, even if it's a risk to the prosecutions down the line, because the public is almost insatiable in the need for information, and they're losing confidence because when they don't get information, then they can sort of feed their lesser angels on their shoulder that it's something truly evil when it's the process is playing out. So I do think it's a challenge right now, and see that the left lies. We now I can see it. I'm doing this weaponization working group. We can see the Biden administration. They didn't just lie about Biden's competence. They would just ignore the truth. They would just make stuff up, and we're not able to do that. It stinks to not be liars because it would be a lot easier.
Right. Well, I think too, Johnny. People are all ready for conspiracies and to unveil the rich and famous and all the things that we didn't do that and you did, and we want. That's this gaper's block, they say in traffic. I just wanted to watch them.
Just to back Eddie up, the P. Diddy trial was the classic case of what you're saying. It's almost impossible to actually get a conviction. No matter what the evidence is, but what got out there was a warning to a lot of people about what you get yourself into, and I know what they were doing,
right.
And so it's exactly what you're saying, and that's very recent example.
And this also broke last night.
Well, now there's this. The FBI has launched criminal investigations into former FBI Director James Comey and the former director of the CIA, John Brennan. Justice Department sources tell Fox News Digital the probes are related to potential wrongdoing related to the Trump-Russia investigation. That includes allegations of making false statements.
It's important to get history right, Ed, isn't it?
Well, yes, and let me say about that. First of all, if you listen closely to Kash Patel, I think on Joe Rogan a month ago, he actually alluded to these investigations. In other words, now that it's being said publicly, I can confirm it too, but I knew it. I knew it all along. I mean, I know a million more things that I'm not going to tell you guys and your listeners. So, I mean, I don't know about a million, but I know. I know dozens. I know dozens of investigations that are ongoing in names that you all would know. So that people just have to either believe that we're competent or not, and then look and then hold you accountable. That's my point about at a certain point you do have to take the risk. And two quick things. There's a famous prosecutor, attorney general named Robert Jackson. He gave a famous speech on, and the left always cites it. They cite it dramatically because it's like all these kinds of things about being a prosecutor is this virtue and all this stuff, which is fine. But one of the things he says is the prosecution, the government prosecution, sometimes should lose in order to do justice, meaning sometimes you can't win the case if you have to do it bad, right? If you have to cheat or you have to be dishonorable, or in I would say in this context, if you have to talk too early about it publicly and it endangers some aspects of the case, I think in this environment you may have to, because the world is so filled with questions and there's so many things going on. You have to be careful. And so, I think there's plenty of room. And by the way, again, we're a nation of laws. The President of the United States has told us repeatedly, Donald Trump tells us repeatedly, we're going to live by the court rulings. And we have, even though they've been crazy. And we're winning at the Supreme Court now. But the fact is that, you have a due process right. You have to prove the matter. You have to actually go to court. And you're right about one thing. It's hard to convict these people that are lionized by the media. And I'll just tell you one quick detail. There was a grand jury after 2020, after the election, about a number of issues, and they couldn't get the grand jury in D.C., which is made up of liberals, of course, to return a bill. In other words, to let you indict some people. So my point is only that the system is not perfect, and therefore you have to adjust. Last thing, Stevie J, the history is so important. We're in this moment. We'll all live and we'll all die. And I think in the next 100 years, it'll be very important for people to look closely at what the hell happened and say, what did they get right and what did they get wrong? And right now, the media and the left is lying to us and trying to make the lie history. And we have to balance that. That's one of the things I tell our weaponization working group is we're like the Library of Alexandria. We got to get it all in here so that history can see it.
Yeah, good point.
All right.
Very important.
So, by the way, Ed Martin, Brother Johnny, it's Wednesday, 217 texture on the Fisher National Bank text line. Stevie, please don't put Ed on the spot like that. He has to watch what he says. So,
well,
good point.
I dance pretty well, Stevie J. I'm a good dancer.
All right. Dancer. So here's a guy that wants to be president, Gavin Newsom.
We could talk about the big, beautiful betrayal. The largest healthcare cuts in American history just happened, and they're celebrating that success. Cutting Meals on Wheels, eliminating for millions and millions of people access to food.
He's got the slickness, the good look, Ed. I mean, I think most of what he says isn't accurate. But anyway.
Well, Eddie, I got to ask you this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Johnny.
I was going to say that if the Democrats would have come across and say we need to keep these tax cuts and they're right about the border, we need to keep it closed, they could have probably not have to cut as much because that was coming from the Freedom Caucus boys. But they all just had to be against Trump again, and all they can say are a few things that they think are bad about the bill, nothing about all the good things that are in that bill. And they just won't move off of where they are, stuck in a rut, Ed. This was a chance for them to move to the middle. They're scared to move, Ed. They're just scared to move.
Well, I mean, not just put our politics hat on. I mean, if you're the Democrats, in the old days, that's what worked, as you say, they're cutting your Medicare, cutting your Medicaid. Here's the problem. The Medicare and Medicaid, the people coming off that are illegals. They said you got to be an American citizen to get it. Now, that's an 80-20 issue. So you can lie in an ad in 2026 and say, so-and-so voted to cut your Medicare, and that will technically be true. But that's who it was cut from, right? The other one was you had to, if you were able-bodied, you had to show that you were trying to get work. Now, that's controversial only in, again, 20% of the country. 80% of the country says, of course, if you're able to go to work, you should go to work. So, and here's the thing, it looks like what's happening, and I trust Russ Vought, the head of OMB, more than anybody on these things. Russ says it's actually positioned in such a way that it's going to cause growth, and it's also going to cut places that are going to be it's going to goose the economy like we haven't seen. He really thinks that, and if that happens by a year from now, it's going to be harder to run on any of that stuff. Now, last thing I'll say is there is $140 billion with a B dollars in that bill for the border and for ICE and for everything else. And if you thought the president was not serious about deportations and doubling down, we're about to see. It's not $10 billion; it's $140 billion, and we're going to have a country where there's going to be the rule of law on the question of immigration. It's a dramatic change. It's amazing.
But, Eddie, one of the ripple effects, or let's say direct pluses, because we talked about it yesterday, now, if you solve that immigration complete open border problem, you can really start to address the 20 million people. Maybe half of them are okay. But as long as you send the signal, if you get here, you're going to end up okay, you can't really give amnesty or anything else to anybody. Right. And so that's a huge first step, and it's going to make a absolutely fantastic difference. And one more thing where the smart people think they know better than Trump. Everybody said for decades, if you do tariffs, the economy will tank. It will destroy the economy. That was conventional wisdom on the left and right, that tariffs would be a disaster. Donald Trump used tariffs.
They're clearly not a disaster. They're clearly working. They're evening out trade deals. And it's similar to me, I think, when people said, oh, what you need is more workers, low-wage workers, and that will help your economy. It works better. I think we're already seeing wages going up for low-income workers because the market and supply and demand. And I think they're going to be wrong. President Trump's been saying this. I think it's going to work differently. I think Trump is going to be correct that it's going to be better for our workers because we're going to have to pay more. Now, it's going to ripple through the economy a little bit, but I think, that ultimately is, and I think this is a crazy example, but when I was a kid, I had to cut everybody's damn lawn in my neighborhood. Every damn lawn, make money on it, right? Now, I asked my dad in the same neighborhood, every lawn is cut by a service that's probably using illegals. It's better cutting, it's faster cutting, and it's a whole industry that's developed. Maybe we wouldn't be terrible to have, young Ed Martin's cutting everybody's lawn again. Right. Again, you can't go back, but you can admit that cause and effect does not stop when you're talking about economics and markets in economy.
Well, also, you've got the academic view of tariffs, which is obviously tariffs are bad. That's the generic tariffs are bad. What about reciprocal tariffs, Ed? We're not starting with tariffs. We're getting killed by the tariffs. So we're saying, fine, we'll do tariffs. See how everybody likes that. And that's what exactly.
Hey, last question, Ed Martin. It appears to me that we're in the midst of a very historic president. Now, the Trump derangement folks will scream about any suggestion of that. Newt Gingrich thought that if things go the way they've been going as well for Donald Trump, he told me a week ago that he thinks he'll be behind Washington and Lincoln.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to judge it when you're in it, right? But I will say that it's on the things that have look, there's more peace breaking out in the world. There's more stability in the economy. I actually think I can't believe I have to say this, but I think it's necessary. Donald Trump's given us a civics lesson in how our government is supposed to work. He has a preference. He enacts the preference. It gets caught in court. He has to go to court. He loses in court. He appeals. And then he goes up to the Supreme Court, sometimes reverse, most of the time, sometimes not. This whole system is working better and better. And again, maybe the most important shift is this psychology of putting yourself and your family first, America first, is not evil. It's evil if you stay self-focused. But if you make yourself strong and your family strong and your neighborhood strong and your church strong and your nation strong, then you can love your neighbor and you can serve the world, and you can rush to serve people. And I think that the guy has done more to change the mindset of the American people on that question than we've seen. And by the way, I point back to this all the time. He went to church every Sunday from the time he was a little boy until the mid-1980s, maybe 82, I think. And the preacher in Marble Collegiate Church in New York City was a guy named Norman Vincent Peale. Norman Vincent Peale was the most famous Christian teacher of how you can make yourself better, the power of positive thinking. He was not a guru. Every page has scripture on it. Every single page has scripture on it if you read that book. And Norman Vincent Peale popularized the Horatio Alger story. He started the Horatio Alger Society in the 1950s. It said Americans can come up from your bootstraps. Whatever you started as, you don't have to be limited. That mindset is all Trump. Trump, he's totally like that. He doesn't care where you came from. You can get better. He doesn't care what your past was. Your future can be brighter. And that attitude, as you know, and real quick story. I was at Bedminster Trump Golf Course with Trump, with the president in the summer, maybe a year ago. And there was some kids that dad was in prison for J6, 3 boys. Having a terrible time. The boys are miserable. Life is upside down. And I said, Mr. President, the kids over there, 3 sons of one of the guys in jail. He said, bring them over. And he brought them over. And I'll never forget the exchange. The kids, he said, how you doing? Good. And the kids are standing there stunned. And he said, listen, I want to tell you something. You're going to have great lives. Your lives are going to be great. Really, they're going to be great. Can you imagine what that does to a kid? His life stinks. Wow. His lives stink. But they'll change their life forever and know that they're meaningful. And that's more Christian than anything you're seeing, half the time on TV.
Well,
I'll tell you what, and Stevie, one thing, I think the Trump derangement's in syndrome is a misnomer. It's we can't change the status quo derangement syndrome. And Trump came in and he's wrecking the playhouse on both sides.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? We don't do that.
Yeah.
And what it's done, as you said, Eddie, it's finally say, that's what. It's funny, the people who complain about Trump, this is who we've been dreaming of for the last 50 years. A guy who really does work for us and tells us, he thinks out loud, and he gets a little trouble sometimes. But this guy, if we get another guy doing exactly what Trump is doing, it's going to be the J.D. Vance derangement syndrome or the DeSantis derangement.
Well, wait a minute. What about maybe
Ed Martin derangement?
Ed Martin derangement system? Maybe Ed's got matinee idol looks. Maybe he's the president.
No, that's right. Yeah,
I do have good hair right now. I have a really good haircut right now.
Ed, I really appreciate you being on, Johnny. It's great to have Ed back on today. We appreciate it.
Kidding.
We will try again next Wednesday. But thanks for your time, Ed. Johnny, we appreciate it. Back to Bible study where we all belong 24/7. So thanks.
All righty.
Peace be with you guys.
You
thanks.
as well.
Take
Thank
care.
you. It's Ed Martin, who's head of the Weaponization Working Group, Assistant Deputy Attorney General in Washington, D.C., Brother Johnny, from Bible study in New Orleans. From that to birthday boy. Did you have fun on a few days off from Good Vibes, Mr. Steve Suderman?
Oh, my goodness. Birthday week, I called it. So we started early, back to the fireworks and stuff. So
Awesome.
yeah, I gained 2 pounds and got out of here for a while. Came in yesterday morning and there was a power failure. I don't know if it was the DMV that's remodeling or the new business going in down the way, but somebody killed the power for 40 minutes and blew my computer up.
Oh, no.
I'm in my cutoffs. I'm crawling around under wires and stuff that haven't been touched in 5 years.
Right.
I got it all to work, but now I have to rewire everything. So I'm not looking forward to this, but here I am. Like I said, nothing has been touched for 5 years, so it's not real nice back there.
I understand. Believe me, I understand. But the fact that
you fixed the transmitter, right?
I don't know about anything except that I'm not very good at crawling around putting things in machines, and you are.
Yeah.
So
You'd rather not do it.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, what do you got going on at Good Vibes that I can come and buy, man?
I've been talking about the unsale, which is now happily coincident with Prime Day, which goes through Friday, or I believe with Amazon. So every manufacturer's kind of relaxed their grip on the pricing that they force us to advertise. So now the prices on the website are real, at least through the weekend. Ours is going to go at least through Saturday on some of these deals. But Klipsch's got the Bluetooth speakers and the subs that make your music cinematic and your music go thump. And of course, all the monitors and towers and center channels, everything's back rolled back on those. The LG OLED, the 65-inch TV that has been our darling for now a year and a half, which is an eternity in electronics, is $11.99. It's never been that low. That will absolutely end this weekend, but they still have some inventory left on that pre-tariff model. We're big on that one. We've got some Denon receivers that we never thought would see 2024 pricing, but they rolled back some stuff that they have unique streaming features, and they sound also cinematic and very musical. So everything that can make your picture and sound more fun and more lifelike, we got deals on, and they run through the weekend.
And you still got the 98-inch television that hangs on the wall like a picture frame, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we put out about 5 of those LGs. I'm sorry they're sold out, unfortunately. But
well, what was the price of the LG again? The 98?
Well, they were 4 or less, depending on when you caught it. It got down as low as 3 at on the last one.
Wow,
and
that's nuts.
But we put them in some big venues, and it's funny how small a really big TV is if you put it in big enough rooms.
I know that. Hey, all right. So, how can people connect with you, Mr. Steve Suderman at Good Vibes?
Next to the remodeling driver's license facility in Round Barn, or on the web at gvibes.com, or call me up at 3510909.
Hey, man, you're youthful. You've been at it a while, but you sound like you're 45, okay?
Yeah. That's objects are closer than they appear in your rearview mirror.
Well,
something like that.
the late, great Tommy Stewart, former Champaign Central football coach, once came out to me. He wasn't a man of many words, and he said, there's 3 stages of life: youth, middle age, And you're looking good.
You're looking good.
That's classic.
When's your next doctor appointment?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure.
All right, take care.
See ya. Steve Suderman, Good Vibes, where you get your big TVs and you got all the service and the people that know how to install.
GVibes.com.
All right, it's doggy bag day for Bulldog Disposal. You want one of those doggy bags that clean up, get organized. 217-359-2255. $210. I'm paying for it all. Just text in doggy bag. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Deadly flash flooding in New Mexico. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News confirmed deaths from last Friday's flooding in Texas are up to 111 now, with 173 people reported missing. Now at least 3 people, a man and 2 children, are swept away and killed in Ruidoso, New Mexico. Mayor Lynn Crawford.
People have seen what's happened in central Texas, Bern County, Kerrville, places like that, just how powerful the water is. But it just snaps some of these big concrete heads off these manholes that goes to the sewer. It just snaps them off.
Is an area hit by wildfires last year, making the ground less able to absorb that water. President Trump says he'll be announcing several trade deals today. He met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu twice in 2 days at the White House, with no public announcement about any sort of breakthrough in ceasefire talks with Hamas in Gaza. Netanyahu on Fox Business this morning.
I think there's a good chance we'll have this ceasefire. And that'll get us closer to the goal that I set from the beginning. Let's get them all back without capitulation.
All back, meaning hostages and hostages remains. Russia launches another major attack on Ukraine and is found again of being responsible for the downing of a jet over Ukraine in 2014.
Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 was shot down while flying from Amsterdam in the Netherlands to the Malaysian capital Kuala Lumpur. 298 people were killed. Now the European Court of Human Rights has officially laid the blame on Moscow. The Boeing 777 was hit by a missile fired from part of eastern Ukraine controlled by pro-Russian separatists. The missile was also Russian-made. The court has ruled that the rebels were under the jurisdiction of the Russian Federation. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
There's a deal to end a city workers' strike in Philadelphia that's had a residential trash pickup and some other services canceled for the last 8 days. America's listening to Fox News.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more. I just took a COVID test. Ugh. Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Democrats introduce a bill to unmask ICE agents.
The Visible Act would require Homeland Security officers to clearly show identification during law enforcement operations and would ban them from wearing non-medical masks. Senators Cory Booker and Alex Padilla introduced the bill, with Booker saying the lack of identification has, quote, created confusion, stoked fear, and undermined public trust in law enforcement. The bill stands little chance of passing the Republican-controlled Congress, where members of the GOP have argued Democrats are getting in the way of ICE agents who are doing their jobs, and forcing officers to remove masks could put their safety at risk. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
President Trump meets with the leaders of 5 African nations today.
It follows the State Department saying that it will no longer follow a, quote, charity-based foreign aid model, instead prioritizing nations that demonstrate the ability and willingness to help themselves. It's also possible a proposed travel ban comes up. 4 of the 5 countries the president is meeting with, Gabon, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal, are on a list of 36 under review right now for inclusion in that ban, according to the Washington Post.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The teenager is accused of murdering her mother and stepfather in Georgia.
Deputies in Carroll County, Georgia say it was a 17-year-old girl who shot and killed her mother, Kristen Brock, and stepfather, James Brock. And the girl is now charged with 2 counts of murder.
She's 17. She's kind of been out on her own. She's lived with different family members and kind of moved all over the place.
Prosecutor Ashley Hulsey. The deaths were reported back in February, and investigators say the evidence kept pointing to the teen who agreed to turn herself in. The case remains open and further arrests are possible. Eben Brown, Fox News.
A few minutes before the opening bell on Wall Street, Dow futures are up 161. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Urbana police reporting an increase in sexual assaults following first-time meetups through dating apps. The police department notified the community of this troubling find through a post on Facebook, and they said it's important for residents to make a safety plan to protect themselves. Meet in a public space and tell someone where you're going. Illinois leaders warning state residents about the negative impacts of President's One Big Beautiful bill. They say it includes cuts and alterations to SNAP. They believe cuts to SNAP threatens the food benefits for about 360,000 Illinoisans, jeopardizes jobs in grocery stores, and harms local economies. Second teen dead. It follows a shooting last month in Champaign. Police say officers found 2 16-year-olds in front of a yard in the 1500 block of Holly Hill Drive with life-threatening gunshot wounds June 29. Arian Turner died later in the day. The second victim passed away Monday. The shooting remains under investigation. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, bright sunshine across east central Illinois. Feels like July. Heck, it's July 9. Meteorologist Greg Solier been up all night just studying. That's what he does. He just works out all the time.
Well, not quite all night, but God, some days it feels good.
Yeah, well, we sure have enjoyed the sunshine early in the day these days. It's wonderful because a whole lot of the year we're all getting up when it's dark and much more fun with sun. All right, so what do you got? We got weather with Greg. Greg, brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Creating superior home exterior since 1955. Improve the look, feel, and function of your home with new roofing or siding. Schedule a free estimate today at kramersiding.com.
All right, Mr. Greg Solier, what you got in your forecast, my friend?
Well, my friend, certainly beats the low stratus, hanging, dark, gloomy fall and winter skies we have to deal with on occasion as well. And still has some mid-level and clouds to the north and west. Some shower and thunderstorm activity that came through in a wide variance of coverage and amounts yesterday afternoon and evening time, and where that rain came down 4, almost 5 inches in parts of McLean and Woodford County. Still some low clouds there and some dense fog issues into the northern end of the state. But we're sitting mighty fine here in east central Illinois, the Twin Cities, the Philo, Sydney area, with temperatures pretty much already into the 70-degree range. 71 at Danville. Some shower activity over towards the Brickyard, and as close in as about the Wabash right now, but moving away. 70 at Bloomington Normal as well, and about 3 1/3 in the gauge there from yesterday's showers and thunderstorms. And again, lesser coverages. We may bubble up something this afternoon. If you're scoring at home, the rain odds for something this afternoon and evening time at 20% again for the day tomorrow. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, and the pleasant summer weather for July will continue on. We'll top out this afternoon at 86, bottom out at 66 for tonight, 87 tomorrow. Bump the rain chances up along with temperatures close to 90 on Friday to about 40%, and some pretty good coverage activity Friday night into Saturday. So the rain pattern continues on too at 86 on Saturday. We're dry Sunday at 85, and once again the roll of ice chances at these widely scattered showers and thunderstorms much of next week, with daytime readings again seasonal in the middle and upper 80s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Well, tomorrow is Cycle Across Illinois event. It benefits concerns of police survivors. It's a wonderful organization that takes care of law enforcement families after the tragic loss of an officer in the line of duty. Their annual bike ride starts in Champaign tomorrow. Lieutenant Catherine Thompson back in our studio, former law enforcement official of the month. Yes. Catherine, great to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
You're very passionate about this. Why?
When you see it and you're a part of it, you understand. I mean, they literally take care of every last detail for an officer that was killed in the line of duty, and they carry that care throughout the lives of those survivors. It's absolutely incredible.
You are in a dangerous vocation. Your family's good with this?
Oh, yeah. They're good with it.
They're used to it, probably.
They're used to it. I would say that. I would say they're used to it. You know, they still have fears, but they're used to it, yes.
This event must raise money. How does that do that?
So we do the Cycle Across Illinois, which is about 100 bike riders that go across the state of Illinois. Usually we start southern or central Illinois and we land in Chicago. And each rider is responsible for raising funds for concerns of police survivors.
How much do you guys roughly raise? Thousands, probably?
Oh, yes, thousands. So each rider has a contribution of, I believe it's approximately $2,000 for each rider.
That's a lot.
And each support team member has a contribution required of $650.
All right, so you get out and you do this, Catherine, but by the way, they got to actually pedal for a long, long way. I mean, these are fit people.
Yes, they have to pedal sometimes over 100 miles in one day's time.
That seems like a lot.
It is a lot.
You go on a bike ride and said they did 20 miles. That's a long way, too.
Yes.
You're talking about 100 and some miles.
Yes, it is. We take rests along the way. We have dedicated stops each along the route, but it's still taxing on everybody.
All right, so your role is?
Advanced team leader. And so I get the caravan of supplies and break stations and luggage to and from each destination.
What if it's windy?
Well, we keep riding.
Yeah.
What if it's rainy? We keep riding.
That's right. How many years you been doing this?
This is, I believe, my 4th year.
All right, so what do you want people to know about what you're doing and why?
I want people to know how special this group is because, like I said, they care for the families and survivors. They send families and survivors to the law enforcement memorial. They send them to retreats, trauma retreats. They help connect them with other survivors who experienced a line of duty death and general well-being of those that are left behind.
And each stop that the bikers make, they have a tribute to a fallen officer.
Yes, that's correct. Every stop that we make, we have a dedication.
It's hard to imagine. We do lose officers in Illinois every year, don't we?
Yes,
every
single year.
In how many?
Well, this year in just the United States, 2024, so we go the year previous, and it was over 164 officers.
How about Illinois?
I don't know the number.
There's
in
some.
Illinois. It's a lot.
Well, it's just you go out there and there's just people shooting people, and then the rhetoric has to just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
What are they talking about? You can't post stuff like that. You can't go after our law enforcement. You can't go over ICE. You can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy world we live in, for sure.
I mean, it seems just... And they're not working on basic reality, and they also might be drugged up, drunk, or mentally ill.
Yes, we do deal with a hardy population that are dealing with mental health crises.
Unbelievable, because I'd really like the organization to go away and you not to have a bike ride because nobody dies.
Right, that's the goal.
That would be the goal.
That's the goal.
Good of you to commit
Lieutenant Catherine Thompson on the support team for Cycle Across America, or Cycle Across Illinois tomorrow. What is the time range where we can come out and support? Maybe when the kids are... home from school or whatever right now, maybe we can get our flags and wave them across Route 45.
We encourage our supporters, our riders and support team love seeing individuals out there holding signs or shaking bells. We'll leave from the hotel Holiday Inn and Neil and Kirby in Champaign at 6:30 a.m. and we will land in Pisodum Troop 7 Station at 7:45 a.m. and from there we'll navigate on to Decatur.
Okay, so you're coming right through Savoy, right through my hometown of Tolono, into Pisodum, and that's kind of the leg you're supporting then. What does that look like with Illinois State Police being a little bit of that motorcade?
The motorcade is absolutely incredible. We could not do this ride without them. If you've never seen ISP block an intersection, you should come out and take a look. It's absolutely insane how they get everything closed off for the riders.
Well, you probably need to be patient if you're behind you, right? I mean,
yeah, oh yes.
You just got to hang in there. It's not going to last very long, and honor what you're doing.
Yes.
So there's a lead car, a car in the back, and the person who's on the bicycle is going all these miles. So you just be encouraging.
Yes. So we have a Peloton style ride, and so they ride at approximately 16 miles per hour. They have a lead car, a trail car, and they have the motorcade. And then our caravan support team will go all the way across the state with them, and we will leave before them, and we will make sure all of their stations are set up for their breaks.
Catherine, how can people contribute? How can they be part of this?
So you can go to illinoiscops.org/cycle across Illinois. There's a P.O. box for a mailing address, and then also it has a link to donate to our Mighty Cause pages.
Awesome. Good job. Over 380 miles?
Yes.
Wow, just a lot. And your commitment to it, I think, might be even better to be a rider and not support. You're hustling around a lot. I mean, there's a lot of work involved in that.
I think there's a little bit of that. The riders always say, I can't do that. And I always say, I'm not getting on that bike.
That's right.
Well, I could get on my little banana handlebars thing, but I probably can't go 16 miles an hour on it,
Yeah.
It's an old bike. Anyway, it's great what you do, and we appreciate what you do. Not just for this event, which is great, but just day-to-day, Champaign Police Department. How's Chief Tyler doing?
He's doing fantastic.
He's changed the culture there, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's really a pro-police chief, so we're very thankful for
Are
him.
you all hired up? Close?
We're getting
you
there.
could use a few more recruits.
We're getting there.
Alrighty.
It's just to serve and protect. It's very noble, and you keep us sane and safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, always a pleasure, Catherine. Congratulations. What's after Lieutenant, by the way?
Deputy Chief.
Wow.
Please don't ask me to do that.
So you're kind of happy at the LT? You're fine?
Yeah, I'm good where I'm at right now.
Oh, my. All the extra things you get to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of extra things, and Chief Tyler has his own opinions about where I'm going next.
I see.
Well, I'll trust what he wants you to do, because I think he probably has a good handle on that.
Lieutenant Catherine Thompson, Champaign Police, supporting Cycle Across Illinois. IllinoisCops.org for details.
Hey, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Lieutenant Catherine Thompson, ESPN 93.5.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Jesse with Lands Drain Cleaning. Do you have your sewer line cleaned every year? Are you constantly getting roots or blockages? Why deal with that headache year after year? Call Lands Drain Cleaning today at 217-355-5512 to have our expert staff come out, clean your line. We give you a free camera inspection, show you what's wrong, where it's at, and then we can offer you a repair for that problem so you don't have to deal with it again. Lands Drain Cleaning. Why call anyone else?
Cardinals win!
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
Last night, after a lengthy rain delay, the Cardinals used the long ball to beat the Nationals 4-2.
So top of the order, Brendan Donovan. He'll try to move the runner at least. And the first pitch to him is hit high and deep to right field. Back to the wall, over the wall. It is tied at 2. Home run number 8 for Brendan Donovan. He wasted no time jumping on that high pitch. Victor Scott scores, and Donovan right behind him. 2-2 our score.
With 2 outs, the 1-strike pitch. Nootbaar hits a high fly ball to right field. That's way back. And at the wall, it's gone. A home run for Lars Nootbaar. That one just got over the padding. Sonny Gray picked up the victory, a save for Ryan Helsley. It's Andre Palante pitching tonight, and we'll be on the air at 5:50 from Busch Stadium.
We had the Cubs beating Minnesota. Minnesota over the Cubs 8-1. We have that game series continuing over on US 105.9. That 6-run 8th inning. Darn it. And actually, the Twins came out of the gate swinging.
Yeah, pretty good.
Toronto over the Chicago White Sox 6-1 in a 7-inning range-shortened game. Well, we're kind of getting our game face on. Basketball tickets, if you're interested, you can go online at fightingillini.com. Josh Whitman and the NIL and player development is also continuing this week as he gets negotiations going.
Hey, congratulations to Busey Bank, which has been named to Forbes' Best in State Banks list again. Third time Busey's been named among the best in state banks by the magazine. In February, they were also named among America's best banks by Forbes in 4th consecutive year for that. In addition, Busey's honored to be recognized in Illinois as the best place to work, and Florida among the best companies to work for. From exceeding the needs of customers and colleagues to serving their communities, Busey associates have been shown unmatched dedication to their pillars for 157 years. Whatever your financial needs, business and beyond, Busey promises the resources to help you succeed. Stop in to one of their many convenient locations. Call them at 800-67-BUSEY. Visit Busey.com to learn more. Member FDIC, and member again, congratulations, Busey, another reward, and a lot of people want to apply there. I can't blame them for doing that.
And I'm telling you, volunteers help on the Champaign County Freedom Celebration. Marie Polk, Lisa Davis taking the lead. Thank you so much for that.
Weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Windows.
As you get great curb appeal and superior weather protection with a new roof or gutter helmet, learn more at kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And the beat goes on with these isolated and widely scattered and at times better coverage outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms, as was evident yesterday. Multi-inch rainfall totals out northwest and west of East Central Illinois, the Twin Cities, out there through McLean County, for example, close to 4 and 5 inches. Centered on the Bloomington-Orwell area, virtually nothing to speak of. In our neck of the woods on northward, we may bubble up one of these thunderstorms in spots this afternoon. Some patchy fog early on, partly sunny at 86, down tonight to around 66. Straight evening shower thunderstorm. Again, back into bubbling up an isolated thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. Patchy fog early tomorrow, partly sunny at 87. Hot and humid, close to 90 on Friday, and better chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms the afternoon, and up to 60% on Saturday, partly sunny, middle 80s there. Drier air at 85 on Sunday, in the 80s, and each day a couple of showers and thunderstorms for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Investors are shrugging off the latest tariff developments. More tariff letters are expected today from the Trump administration. Copper prices are off yesterday's highs that followed plans for a 50% tariff on copper imports and 200% on pharmaceuticals. Meta Platforms has purchased a minority stake in eyeglass maker EssilorLuxottica. The two companies already have a deal to produce smart Ray-Ban glasses. Merck is buying London-based Verona Pharmaceuticals, which makes a treatment for COPD. Merck's paying about $10 billion. Starbucks shares are up 3% following reports that its China business has attracted bids valuing the unit at $10 billion. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
It's time to take the quiz.
It's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We asked people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
What is the name of the coffee shop in the sitcom Friends?
Mel's Diner.
Central Perk. The answer? Central Perk.
Either way, you can always try again tomorrow. Take the quiz every day at thequiz.fox, then come back here to see how you did.
And thank you for taking the quiz.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Well, always a pleasure to talk with Claire Clark. Visit Indy.com. Claire, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Happy to be on the show.
Well, great to have you on. We love Indianapolis. My family's been flying out of Indy recently. We love our Willard, but sometimes we do Indy. Hey, listen, I understand that WCCL is having their All-Star game.
WNBA All-Star
I'm
game.
sorry. I was saying
Indy.
Caitlin Clark League. I'm sorry.
Caitlin Clark League.
Yeah, that's kind of what.
There we go.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on my lecture to the WNBO. Man, you just go with Caitlin. She's woman. She's going to make you all more money. Love her. Give her a break. Come on, man. She's on. I mean, every time she's on, I watch. And when she's not on, I don't watch. But you guys are hosting the WNBA All-Star Game, which will have Caitlin Clark in it, which means people will come.
Hey, she will be a team captain. Of course, we'll have representation from the Las Vegas Aces, New York Liberty, the Dallas Wings. Tons of ladies, best of the league, will all come to Indy next weekend. But there's fun for the fans. We're going to have an Indiana Fever Fest. We're the first WNBA team to have our own festival during All-Star Weekend. It's going to kick off at White River State Park. There's going to be concerts, comedy, and then a watch party for the big game for those who don't have a ticket.
Fun. Okay, that's worth going to. What about Brickyard 400?
Well, of course, action is back at the Motor Speedway, but with NASCAR. So this is the famed 2.5-mile oval race over July 27th. So that whole weekend, we'll be celebrating NASCAR's roots in the racing capital of the world. That Friday, we'll have practice. Saturday the 26th, qualifications, and the big race on July 27th, that Sunday.
Nice. I see there's a package that you sent. I got that here at the radio station, Claire. Thank you so much. Can you give me some giveaway details?
Of course. We have Brickyard 400 tickets for a lucky winner, 4 of them, paired with Indianapolis Indians tickets, and a one-night stay at the Hyatt Regency Hotel downtown.
Nice.
Wow.
Now, the Indianapolis Indians, I know that with Stevie having a baseball player in his realm, have you seen any of those games?
Yeah, I mean,
with Jacob playing?
Indianapolis is affiliate of the Pirates, so certainly they have AAA is a big deal in India. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a great field, beautiful views of the downtown. Of course, if you go to a game on Friday, you get an added benefit of a free fireworks show. They have great food and beverage offerings, but definitely a must-do when you're in Indianapolis over the summer season is to go to Victory Field and experience our AAA team.
Yeah, always
so
fun.
visitindy.com gives you all the details about all the different museums, different guides and maps, things to do, where to eat. I mean, this is a terrific website if people want to explore some kind of staycation options that are only, a couple of hours away from here in Central Illinois.
Of course, and during the summer season, you got to go to the zoo, the Children's Museum, White River State Park. All those attractions are kind of bundled up into an attraction pass where you can get discounts and deals for attending those or visiting those museums or attractions. So visitindy.com has all the details on our attraction pass that can help save you and your family money.
Ooh, I see the Dave Matthews Band is coming up on the 11th. That'll be an awesome show.
Shame he doesn't have a loyal following.
We had a coworker that had been to over a couple of dozen shows of his.
I thought it was like 100.
Is that right?
Their fan base.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like it used to be for the Grateful Dead, where you just have the following and they camp out.
Listen, I appreciate all of that, but after about 7, I'm just wondering, it's the same songs, isn't it?
I know.
I mean, it's just incredible. But Dave Matthews in Indianapolis will be a sellout, I'm positive.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, Claire, you like your job, do you?
Of course, I do.
I can hear it in your voice.
Uh-huh.
Visitindy.com, Claire Clark, and they can visit visitindy.com. Always a pleasure. Thanks for jumping on.
Thank you both.
All right, Claire Clark over in Indianapolis.
Man, there are so many fun things on this visitindy.com site, including that AT&T WNBA All-Star Game, which is coming up on the 18th and 19th.
And way better state politically, for sure. It's a red. Listen, Illinois is a great state, but we just got dark blue in Chicago and dark blue in Champaign. That's what we got politically.
Right.
We need more pink. And there's most of the counties, 97 out of 103 counties are Republican. 97. It's Democratic every cycle because everybody lives in Cook County. Anyway, love Illinois, but I do like Indiana too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's 8:27. If you would like a free doggy bag, I'm paying today. That's at 6 cubic yards of canvas that you fill full of junk you can't recycle or dispose of. Recycling, you can get rid of. Sometimes you just got stuff and you can't do anything with it and nobody wants it and you got to dump it. So I got the doggy bag for you. $40 available at Do It Best Hardware if you want to do that, or I'll have it delivered if you live in Champaign County. Just text in doggy bag to the Fisher National Bank text line 217-359-2255. Text doggy bag to us and you have a chance to win this $210 deal, because not only am I getting you a canvas bag for free, I'm having it picked up for $175, $180. I'll pay for that. What? So just text in doggy bag if you want to get organized. You'll feel a lot better if you got a little space where there wasn't. Believe me, it's a psychological boost.
Yeah.
217-359-2255. The news coming up. Would you go see Superman? I'll tell you how it's all political now.
Oh, good.
That's coming up.
When feeling better can't wait, visit Christie Clinic Convenient Care. Convenient locations, hours to fit your schedule, and no appointment necessary. Plus, you don't have to be a Christie Clinic patient. Receive health care when and where you need it with Christie Clinic Convenient Care. Christie Clinic accepts Health Alliance and most other major insurance plans. Visit ChristieClinic.com to find the convenient care closest to you.
Well, I tell you what, though, A&R has been such an amazing, impactful company. Your grandfather, your dad, you've all gone through stuff. And your secret is what, John?
Well, I mean, you have to trust that you're doing the right thing, first of all. And you got to surround yourself with good people. And I think over the years, we've had some really good people that have been part of A&R. And, you know, we owe a lot of our success, if not all of it, to those people.
Neil, you could say A&R has built a great part of Champaign-Urbana. It's about people. Can you explain the culture, why people would want to work at A&R?
We've had several families where we've gone even 3 generations. And these guys are long-term employees. They want to stay with us. And it's rewarding to know that they want to be with us. We have their backs. They have our backs. And that's a unique perspective, I think, from anybody this day and age.
I'm positive because you're such a solid company. A&R Mechanical, a thriving leader 100 years later.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
Congratulations to the Village of Philo on its 150th anniversary, of which 142 of those years, Philo Exchange Bank has served the community. Join us as we celebrate 150 years of Philo on July 17th through the 20th. We have also partnered with the Champaign County History Museum to have an exhibit in our downtown Philo Bank starting July 17th. Find more information at philobank.com or on our Facebook page.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Texas Hill Country needs heavy construction equipment and cadaver dogs for the monumental search of debris piles, with a new count of missing over 170 after a wall of water swept the Guadalupe River, killing over 111 people, 27 at Camp Mystic. Texas inspectors approved the camp's emergency plan just 2 days before. A 20-foot wall of floodwater hit Ruidoso, New Mexico, devastated by wildfires last year. 3 dead there. Mayor Lynn Crawford.
People have seen what's happened in Central Texas, Bern County, Kerrville, places like that, just how powerful the water is. But it just snaps some of these big concrete heads off these manholes. It goes to the sewer, it just snaps them off.
President Trump on day 2 of talks with Israel's Prime Minister on a Hamas ceasefire to free 10 living hostages. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois leaders warning state residents about the negative impacts of President's One Big Beautiful bill. They say it includes cuts and alterations to SNAP. They believe cuts to SNAP threatens the food benefits for about 360,000 Illinoisans, jeopardizes jobs in grocery stores, and harms local economies. Second teen dead. It follows a shooting last month in Champaign. Police say officers found 2 16-year-olds in front of a yard in the 1500 block of Holly Hill Drive with life-threatening gunshot wounds June 29. Arian Turner died later in the day. The second victim passed away Monday. The shooting remains under investigation. Urbana police reporting an increase in sexual assaults following first-time meetups through dating apps. The police department notified the community of this troubling find through a post on Facebook, and they said it's important for residents to make a safety plan to protect themselves. Meet in a public space and tell someone where you're going. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign, way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries open 6 days a week.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Well, tell me, Tim Onstad, how is it going at Gale Frericks Trucking?
Oh, we're busy. We're going gangbusters. We've got a new driver going through orientation. That leaves us one spot left for somebody that wants to get in on the action and make some money, be home, get some quality time. It's a great opportunity.
And the type of person you like hiring?
Honesty, integrity, like everybody else is looking for. That guy that wants to have a family life, but be able to make some good money and do the right things.
Are you looking for experienced drivers? And if they have a military background and things like that, that's always an asset.
We do need some experience. Of course, we like getting the guys 15 years in that know what they're doing, maybe have been treated bad by other companies and need a place looking for a home. If somebody has the basics, maybe a year and a half, has a military background, I'll count that as some experience because they're used to following the process. Oh, you can always email me at timo@gftlog.com.
Weather brought to you by Kurt Lenschout, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Kurt and State Farm are there.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity, and another great example of what happens in these thunderstorm outbreaks from time to time during the summertime season. A wide range and scope of intensities, coverages, and amounts, upwards of 4 and 5 inches, for example, in some parts of McLean County, and barely anything to speak of in some sections of Champaign and Vermilion counties, and the beat goes on. A little patchy fog this morning, early on, partly sunny. Again, we brew up an isolated shower thunderstorm at some point, probably this afternoon, up to 86 light wind. Stray shower thunderstorm this evening, partly cloudy overnight, patchy fog after midnight too, low down to 66. And again, becoming partly sunny after some patchy fog tomorrow morning. Isolated shower thunderstorm in the afternoon, highs up around 87. Better odds for a couple of showers and thunderstorms Friday and more so Saturday. High temperatures into the upper 80s to near 90 on Friday, middle 80s on Saturday. Drier air at 85 on Sunday, back into scattered showers and thunderstorms next week with highs into the 80s. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Are you looking to get the most from your money? If not, you should be. A free rewards checking account from Fisher National gives you access to their Reward Saver, which earns you an excellent annual percentage and can really increase your earnings potential. No monthly service fees or minimum balance required. When you're ready to make the most of your money, switch to Rewards Checking or Rewards Saver from Fisher National. See monthly requirements at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
217 texter, and what happened with Trump and Putin? I thought mass murderer dictator Putin was Trump's buddy. Obviously not. He looks to be increasingly upset with Vladimir Putin. He said he's a nice guy when we're together, but it doesn't matter. So I think sanctions are on the table now for Russia that could be crippling. But Russia keeps intensifying, and I'm not sure what you do with that. He thought he had more of a influence that isn't there, obviously. Ukraine continues to get hit. Got hit harder last night than the night before after Trump mentioned to me yesterday how upset he was with him. Okay, Superman's supposed to be the blockbuster of the summer.
Drawn into conflicts at home and abroad, his actions are questioned, giving tech billionaire Lex Luthor the opportunity to get the Man of Steel out of the way for good.
All right, 1978, I think it was Christopher Reeve. Gene Hackman did the original Superman.
I remember.
I enjoyed that movie.
Absolutely.
All right, Clay Travis from Outkick talking about why this has now become political.
The new Superman movie is coming out this week, and I was actually kind of excited to see it. I thought to myself, you know what? This is going to be a entertaining movie. I tend to like superhero movies. I thought the Superman would be good. I think, the original Superman came out in like 78. If I'm not mistaken, the first Superman. I know the Batman with Jack Nicholson, I believe, came out in 89, which were kind of the universe of all of those shows came out in that space. James Gunn, who is the director, said, according to Variety magazine, Superman is about, quote, an immigrant that came from other places and how we've lost the value of basic human kindness. Yes, it's about politics.
Unbelievable. What? I don't go to the movies unless it's Dinesh D'Souza's pieces. I don't want that.
When a studio gives you hundreds of millions of dollars.
Actually, $700 million.
Whoa.
$700 million, and this is, the guy is making it political already.
To make a movie or millions of dollars to star in a movie, to me, the absolute least you can do is work your ass off and try to appeal to the largest possible audience so that the movie can have the biggest possible reach and impact and profit. And I want to do that not only for myself, if I'm an actor, but for the guy holding up the camera, for the script writer, for the makeup artist. Ultimately, why are you trying to make a movie like Superman unless you aspire to have the biggest possible audience for it? You are reaching for a super audience when you try to make a movie like Superman. So I wouldn't say, hey, this is an allegory for Trump, who I think is Superman. And I wouldn't say, hey, this is about my views on immigration. It's extremely political. And if you disagree, you're a moron.
Well, I'm not going to go see it. And by the way, truth, justice, and the American way, not this Superman. Just truth and justice, not the American way.
I see.
They dropped it. So good luck to them. I mean, it's the dumbest thing marketing-wise.
Well, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's 85% tomato meter and 95% popcorn meter. It's 2 hours and 9 minutes, and it opens on Friday the 11th.
Okay, good luck to them. I'd rather go see Mission Impossible 4 times and support that. So,
I saw Jurassic World this week. It's pretty much running from
lost
dinosaurs.
Lost a raptor chasing somebody?
Exactly. There's some mutant dinosaurs in this one.
They had, who did they had? The guy from Guardian Angels, the Knights of the Guardians. I can't remember the actor's name. He's a solid Christian that was in the Guardians of the Galaxy. That guy was in last Jurassic Park I saw.
Yeah.
And I can't remember.
He's not in this one.
Okay. Any stars?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's in this one. I didn't realize she was in the series.
And she's running around a tree getting away from the calf.
And there's actually some water dinosaurs and stuff, too.
Oh, something new.
So a quarter of the movie is you're on a boat and there's...
being chased.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand the formula.
I wanted to see it in 3D, so I actually was wearing the glasses during this one. It was interesting.
Okay, so it really looks like they're coming after you.
That's right.
They jump.
And when they snap at you, me and my friend Bitsy were both leaping out of our seats.
Well, because you had the 3D.
3 times we flinched.
You could fix that by taking the glasses off.
I mean, it'd just be blurry then. All good.
Yeah, that's true. They are blurry without the glasses. All right. So good luck. It's Superman. $700 million in this day and age coming out of COVID from movies. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of money. But again, Mission Impossible has done very well. And that's the best one, probably the only one I've seen for some time. So, 842.
Attention drivers. When it comes to your car, trust matters. That's why savvy drivers choose PDR Automotive for top-notch service and unbeatable quality. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, their team of expert technicians has the skill and experience to keep your vehicle running smoothly. At PDR Automotive, customer satisfaction is their priority, and they won't rest until your car is back on the road performing at its best. Visit PDR Automotive in Urbana today, family-owned and operated for more than 50 years. They're what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Reggie, tell me why you love real estate.
Oh gosh, I'm on my 19th year in real estate, and the best part about it all truly is the friendships you make. Just the lifestyle, that culture in our office. I mean, I just love what it's given me for my life, especially when it's a win-win transaction and people move into their homes. It's really wonderful to see their dreams come true.
How do I reach out to you?
First of all, I've got a website, ReggieTaylorHomes.com. My phone number is 217-419-0141, and my email address is rtaylor@caldwellhomes.com.
Why do you like what you do?
I really enjoy helping either a buyer or seller to get to the next chapter. And they're relying on Reggie and I to help them achieve their next goal.
You're their realtor.
We're their realtor. It's Taylor Folt's team, Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group. You can find me on the internet at dianafoltz.com. Cell phone number is 217-840-4133. And my email is diana@dianafoltz.com.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, yep. Roof Doctors.
My job. We're happy to tell, but I'm going early. But yeah, here you go.
It's the sale you wait for all year. Body & Soul's annual tent event is back. From July 9th through the 13th, head to Body & Soul on Dunlap Avenue in Savoy for huge savings. Up to 80% off your favorite name brand shoes, apparel, and gear. The tent is open 9 to 6 weekdays, 9 to 5 Saturday, and noon to 5 on Sunday. But deals this good won't last. Get all the details at bodyandsoulsports.com. And don't forget to like Body & Soul on Facebook. Body & Soul's tent event, July 9th through the 13th.
Well, you'd be silly not to go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, $50 to $80 off on some of the shoes. $50 to $80 off some of the shoes.
Yeah.
And a sale on everything inside the store and the tent. So obviously, you can go today.
Get best selection.
Well, yeah, because
today's the first day.
Yeah.
So 9 to 6.
So this has been very mature of me and professional to play that ad right now.
Yes.
9 o'clock, 15 minutes from now.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And Mike Lindeman's such a great guy.
Yes, he is.
Oh, my goodness. Really comes out when it comes to runners in our community. So many years with the marathon and, of course, coaching, Parkland College women's athletics, and all of that.
All right, quick check of sports.
Well, I was reading about the University of Illinois Division of Intercollegiate Athletics, and this summary of this article posted at fightingillini.com says partnership represents an innovative model to maximize revenue generation and NIL growth opportunities for Illini student athletes leveraging Learfield's impact on the NIL services. So I'm thinking they want to kind of deep dive into some of the student athletes' stories and really optimize them and try to get more NIL opportunities with someone who might match what the athlete is passionate about. But it's a pretty long and in-depth interview here.
I don't know. I would presume Learfield's in financially as well. That'd be my guess. But I know that Learfield handles all the broadcasting, and they have the rights to it. And then they make it off of advertising back at you to listen and watch games and stuff. But, Learfield's big, and they're going to integrate with U of I. I presume there's lots of money being involved. I don't know. Honestly, I don't get it. If you have $20 million as kind of your money every year, it's limited. I just have concerns that the schools that have cheated traditionally will continue to cheat. But maybe they've got more controls on it than I know of. Anyway, it's pay your guys. The best guys come for the most money, and that's how it works now. So
that's how it works now. All right, we have St. Louis with a win over Washington 4-2. And that series continues today. I see the big chain night is the big giveaway. Minnesota over the Cubs 8-1. That series continues at 6:40. Over on US 105.9, Toronto over the White Sox 6-1 in a range-shortened game. Only 7 innings on that one. That's sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
Former Illini Terrence Shannon Jr. of the Minnesota Timberwolves about Ben Quattrone from Sarah Champagne.
What kind of friend has he been?
Unbelievable. Ever since I came to this dealership, me and Ben had interactions. He's been a great person this whole time. It still is. I always would recommend him to anybody about a car or anything. He's always going to be there for you no matter what. He always be behind you. He's just a great person.
Visit sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group. Some of the things that sellers can do to increase the value of their home.
We get this on almost every listing appointment. Hey, Nate, what can we do to increase the value of our home? We want to sell in a couple weeks. Are there some simple things we can do around the house? Or there's some major things that we can do around the house to increase the value or get a return on of our investment? And Again, not every home is created the same, and not every situation is the same. So if we walk in there, there's definitely some items that we can do. Paint, floors, and hardware are the easy items where you get your biggest return out of every time. That's easy to say. But there's a lot of times where we'll get questions from sellers where they're asking us, should I update my bathroom? Where should I stop on my floors? Should I redo my roof? Should I do mechanicals? And I think a lot of that plays into the overall scope of your goals. We like to get into the house when it's really not even ready for the market. We can get in there and usually save that seller a lot of money and a lot of wasted time and energy by just offering some simple advice on how we would treat it if it was our own.
You can reach out at Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Why visit Freedom Roofing for your roof repair or replacement? Just listen to what satisfied customers are saying.
Freedom Roofing was quick to respond, reasonably priced, and their quality was excellent.
They found an immediate issue, patched it on the spot, and later replaced our entire roof. We couldn't be happier.
For local, trusted roofing done right, visit freedomchampaign.com or call 217-393-6000 today.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and Vicinity. And the beat goes on with these isolated, widely scattered, and at times better coverage outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms, as was evident yesterday. Multi-inch rainfall totals out northwest and west of East Central Illinois, the Twin Cities, out there through McLean County, for example, close to 4 and 5 inches centered on the Bloomington-Orwell area. Virtually nothing to speak of in our neck of the woods on northward. We may bubble up one of these thunderstorms in spots this afternoon. Some patchy fog early on, partly sunny and 86 down tonight to around 66. Straight evening shower thunderstorm. Again, back into bubbling up an isolated thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. Patchy fog early tomorrow, partly sunny and 87. Hot and humid, close to 90 on Friday, and better chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms the afternoon, and up to 60% on Saturday. Partly sunny, middle 80s there. Drier air and 85 on Sunday. In the 80s, and each day a couple of showers and thunderstorms for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm. At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Yep, I mentioned earlier Scott Turner, former Illini football player. He's the guy now that gives the opening prayer for the cabinet meetings that you sit in with Donald Trump and his people. It's fascinating. I mean, it really is master's class in meetings and how they're conducted. I think they're pretty good at it.
The Redbird Recap.
That's not what I wanted. Scott Turner, I think, was a wide receiver for Ron. Was it Ron Turner or was it? It was the middle 90s.
Okay.
But he was a terrific guy, and I remember him very well.
Scott Turner?
Yep, Scott Turner.
Father, we're humbled by your grace. We're humbled by your mercy. Oh God, we surrender to you. Jesus, you are the great Redeemer. And Lord, we thank you. I thank you for every man and woman around this table. Thank you for the president, Father, and his leadership.
Talking about Texas, everything else, it's a wonderful prayer, and I just love that. I think America, founded on one nation under God, founded on principles of Jesus Christ and Puritans and early on Pilgrims. And I think you got to go back and find God in this country, and you can read the Bible, and when we're away from God, it's really bad.
Yeah.
And when we're with God, it's really good. And the Bible just goes back and forth, up and down, up and down. And if there's one consistency for me is that with God good, without God bad. And so I love the fact that they're opening these cabinet meetings, because there's sometimes impossible choices on what to do as a leader. It's really, really hard. And it's a really hard job. Being president of the United States has to be the hardest job on the globe, because you have so much impact and the capability to do so much. Okay, we'll leave it there. Come back tomorrow.
I was just looking. It was the early 90s, which could have been John Malkovich, wrapped up in 91, and then Lou Tepper was 92 to 96.
Yeah, Lou Tepper was in there, too. It could have been Lou Tepper for Scott Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Meet you back on Thursday. That's tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday.
This is former Cardinal and Navy Lieutenant Mitch Harris. Salute those who serve. Join the Cardinals on Friday, July 11th for Military Appreciation Night, presented by Boeing. With a special themed ticket, fans will take home an exclusive Cardinals 40-ounce tumbler, honoring all 6 military branches. Arrive early for a powerful pregame concert by the U.S. Air Force Band on the Budweiser stage. And best of all, a portion of each ticket benefits USO Missouri. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/theme. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
Racing, racing, racing! Farmer City Raceway is your local award-winning dirt track with exciting Friday night lights illuminating the late models and modifieds, going for the checkered flag for the win. Make arrangements to get in on the camping with great price points for pit passes and young fans, as well as veterans. Friday nights, the hot laps start at 6:30, then qualifying and racing action. Don't miss out on the fun at Farmer City Raceway. For details, visit farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Since 1929, Christie Clinic has strived to provide high-quality care with a personal touch. To continue our mission of we listen, we care, we are seeking engaged team members who are focused on improving patient lives, adding value, and increasing capacity to better serve our growing community. Christie Clinic offers competitive pay, great benefits, and advancement opportunities. Come join our team. Visit ChristieClinic.com to view open positions and apply.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Enjoy free yoga at Urbana Park District's Meadowbrook Park each Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. No experience needed. All are welcome. Bring comfortable clothes and your yoga mat or a towel. Instructors can modify the exercises to your experience level. Yoga is a great way to exercise and refresh the mind and soul. Make new friends or bring friends. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 at Meadowbrook Park. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a